Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and I'm here today at Allegory Gallery. Um, it's been a busy day. We've been working on pushing out a lot of orders. As many of you know, we're working really hard to catch up from moving all of our online store stock over to Star Cottage Studio so that we can ship from there and have more room back here. We're working on cleaning this behind this wall to make more room here where I'm sitting, which is normally our class space. So we're making more room here, and hopefully we'll get that done before the first classes start up. We're going to start classes again here in store on the Friday the 13th of May. So we're taking that, I keep saying we're taking that unlucky day and we're going to make it lucky by hanging out with friends and making stuff, right? So I hope you're doing well out there. It is Thursday today, I think. My days have been crazy. My lip, you might be able to tell, is swollen. I haven't been around much today. I've been working a lot from home. I did a lot of laser things, cutting out some of those acrylic rings that all of you keep ordering, which is great. And we keep the laser at the house for now, but it will be moving over to Star Cottage Studios soon too. But yeah, I stayed out of the public a little bit today because my lip, it's better now. It's not as bad, but you can still tell, I think. My lip has been swollen all day. That happens to me sometimes. My allergist and doctor have said it's mostly probably just thyroid issues. Some people with thyroid issues get hives, which I do. And sometimes my lip swells because of that. So I woke up today with a swollen lip. Looked like a bee stung me or something. But I've been taking Benadryl and other antihistamines. And so it's finally going down. It's only taken 6 or 7 hours to finally almost be unnoticeable. So yeah, I figured today, because I haven't been here at the store as much today, I popped in and out, but I was mostly home doing stuff and I had nothing new at home to show you. So I figured we'd just take a little time and chat for a little bit. I did want to let you know to check your email. I sent out an email today. That's one of the other things I did. And in my email is a discount code. That's right, discount code. You can save some money in the online store through Sunday. So until midnight Eastern time on Sunday, it's kind of a long weekend sale that we're having for you all. We figured, Mother's Day is coming up very soon, right? I think it's the 6th? Is it the 6th? The 6th of May. So we have Mother's Day coming up, and you might want to save some money on some things. We will try to get things out shipped as quickly as possible. We are catching up pretty quickly. I'm hoping by mid next week, we should be completely caught up and shipping same day again. We'll see if that happens. But we've been very busy packing and shipping things as well. Suzanne, are the polyacrylics and the discs? No, we're working on those, Suzanne. Actually, we finished taking some pictures of those, and we're working on editing the photos. That's something maybe you don't realize. We can't just snap a picture of something and send it out because it may not be color correct. And so each picture we take for the online store goes through a multiple step process to edit the colors and edit the clarity in those photos for you so they look good. So especially when you have wild colors like some of the purples and oranges and greens that these polymer clay discs come in, it takes a lot of time to edit each photo because a lot of our photos, the cameras take really good pictures. We have very little editing that we have to do, so it can work pretty quickly. But when you get some wild colors like the polymer clay beads come in, sometimes the cameras just don't handle those colors well. And so we have to white balance them. We have to correct the colors themselves. A lot of times we have to do selective color and modify selective colors within each photo. We really try very hard to make sure that what we see on screen is what the actual product looks like. And that's not an easy thing sometimes. You would think you just snap a picture and go. It's not. So for every photo, for every product we have, we generally take 3 photos. If you've not noticed in the online store, there are oftentimes 3 photos. There's a photo of the item or a group of those items. Then there's a photo of an item or a group of those items with a penny to try to show you size. Even though we list size in the descriptions, sometimes it's always good to see it too, right? And then there's a close-up generally of the item, or if we took group shots, it's an individual item. And so each product has at least 3 photos, and each of those 3 photos go through at least a 5 or 6 step process to color correct them. That's if it's easy. That's if the color, if we just have to hit a few buttons and the color works, then it's like a 5 or 6 step process. If the color still isn't looking right, then we go into the nitty gritty section and we start changing things at more of a micro level. So it is very important. One of the, I look at a lot of people's photos for a lot of their jewelry. And well, there are a few things I usually notice. Backgrounds are very important. You want to make sure you have a nice background for your photos, right? We use a lot of wood. Because wood is just such a natural, warm kind of material, and it's just kind of a feel-good material. And so we really like to use wood, or sometimes we use a gray cloth, a light gray cloth, or a light gray felt. Light gray is a really good color to, kind of, when you're taking photos, you get a really generally good color of your product when you use a light gray background. It just offsets most colors very well. Most cameras are really good at, when you have a gray background, most cameras will get a pretty close to color accurate photo, at least most modern day phones and cameras, if you have that gray background. We also use this piece of driftwood. You see this in a lot of our photos right now. And the reason we do this is because using this particular piece, for whatever reason, whatever it is, when we do a white balancing according to this color, this wood color, the white balance usually corrects the color within 1 step of anything that you see on top of this or around this. As long as this is in the photo, we can color correct and white balance to this actual item, and it makes all of the colors in the photo more true to life. So backgrounds are very important, and white balancing it's probably one of the most important things that a lot of people don't even do, or don't even know to do. Whenever if you ever saw somebody, they take a picture of their plate out at a restaurant, they have that white plate and they have their food, and the food, in person, the food looks amazing. But when you take the picture, everything looks like hazy or a little bit yellowish. The plate's not bright white anymore. Generally, you can correct that very quickly with white balancing your photo, and it will make an insane difference. And I've tried this. I have pulled, if people share a photo of their food, I have pulled that photo and just done a white balance correction on it. And it's amazing the difference. I've done this a number of times. I'm no photographer. I don't know a lot about it. I just know things from practice. And if you do not white balance your photos, I highly suggest starting to white balance your photos. You will get a much better true to life color on them, and they'll just look a heck of a lot better than if you don't do it. And so that process takes us quite a while for each item that we do. And then once we do that, we export the photos. And not only do we export them, but we also run them through a process to reduce the file size of the photos. So it's a program we use that condenses the file size without losing much quality. It also resizes the photos. We don't need them to be gigantic, right? But it is helpful for the online store, because in the online store, if we put everything, most of our photos are, between when they're not condensed again, they're between 3 and 8 megabytes each, probably, which doesn't seem like a lot, right? But when you have thousands of products and you throw those into the online store, what ends up happening is every time somebody loads the online store, it has to load those large file sizes. Now, I'm sure Shopify also condenses them on their end. But at one point in time, I was not doing this, and I noticed that our homepage started loading slower and slower and slower. So I went through and I redid a lot of the photos and condensed them. So we keep the exported photos, which are already slightly condensed, and then we condense them again. And that final, condensing of the photo size, that's what goes into the online store. And then the kind of parent to that one, the larger file size and the bigger photos, those go on social media so that we can have them as pretty as possible on social media and as big as possible on social media, because it doesn't matter how big they are for Facebook. I don't care. Facebook loads a little slow, right? Facebook generally doesn't slow down when you add more photos, but an online store will. So that's the process of getting things into the online store. So we have to, we have to count everything. We have to inventory everything first. Then we go and inspect everything to make sure they look good. Then we get ready to take the photos. We sort them out to get the photos taken of everything. We take the photos. Then we sort what's going to go into the online store and what is going to go into the physical store. Because usually if we get a shipment, we try and do half and half right now. So that requires 2 inventory systems. So each item is entered into 2 different inventory systems, one for Shopify and one for Square in the physical store. They get 2 different inventory numbers because the numbers are different. They get tagged. If they're getting tagged for the physical store, they get tags put on them. We don't usually tag for the online store because we put them into bags or containers that have the SKUs written on them. So we don't have to tag each individual item for the online store. And then we edit those photos, we export them, we condense them, we enter them onto the online store, we create a new listing, throw the photos in there, type in all the description that we need, make a title for it, enter the SKU, enter the quantity, enter the cost, all that inventory stuff, enter keywords so that it pops up in the right collection in the online store. Because you want gemstones to be in the gemstone collection, you want charms to be in the charm collection. And then once we do all of that, then we actually turn everything live. And so that's kind of the process for those of you who don't go through it. That's kind of the process that happens every single day here. And that's why when I was by myself, before we had anybody to help me at all, I was so far behind. It's a ton of work. And we don't get everything always right? Sometimes the colors aren't perfect. We try to do the best we can. We can't afford to have impeccable color correct monitors all over the place, right? So we use the monitor we have in store, or if I'm editing photos, my monitor is a P3, so it's color correct, it's as color correct as you're going to get without spending thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars for a screen, for a monitor. So we try our best, and we hope that when you get something, it resembles the photo fairly well, I hope. We don't want people to be surprised. We were looking through some of the polymer clay ones, and because they're odd colors, they were difficult. And we're going through actually and redoing some of them because we did them to our eye at first, and then we started pulling the strands and comparing them to the photos, and like, this one needs to be a little darker, or this color needs to be a little bit more luminant. So yeah, it's a process. So back to Suzanne's question, they're not online yet because we started them and we've had to go back and redo some color correction on them. And we wanted to kind of give our eyes a break in between some of the other stuff we're doing to get these right. So that's why they're not online yet. But the crystals, which, let's see here. These crystals, which I showed you very quickly, they're in 2 and 3 millimeter crystals. These hopefully will be in the online store by tomorrow. And yes, let me see, I have them here. The polymer clay beads hopefully will be in the online store tomorrow. If not tomorrow, probably Saturday. So if you did get our email today and you got that coupon code, I'm not going to tell you what it is because you're supposed to sign up for our email newsletter. And if you haven't, then you might have missed the coupon code. Maybe I'll resend it on Saturday. We'll see. But if you got your email, you can use that to save 15% off everything in the online store through midnight on Sunday, Eastern Daylight Time. And yeah, so hopefully you'll use that. Like I said, Mother's Day is coming up. I know some of you may be creating projects for that, or maybe creating projects for yourself if you're a mother, right? A mother of fur children, a mother of human children, a mother of bird children, who knows, right? Feathered children. Maybe you're making something for yourself. So you can do that. Gift cards are available in the online store as well. You're not going to get the discount on the gift cards because that's not the way we do things, right? But you can get a 15% off anything other than the gift cards in the online store. And like I said, that runs through Sunday at midnight. And like I said, we're trying really hard to get caught up on shipping. I just lasered some of those acrylic rings that we debuted during the Great Bead Extravaganza. And we should be fulfilling some of those orders here very soon, starting tomorrow. So if you're waiting on those, sometimes we're waiting on more acrylic. If you didn't get those yet, and that's all you ordered, we're waiting on some acrylic. So got it done, and they're all. I think I got them all done. So if you've been waiting for acrylic rings, and that's maybe all that was on your order, that's why. If you're waiting for acrylic rings and AG Fine Pewter Collection stuff, then the rings are done and we're moved over to where the fine pewter is. So those are going out as well starting tomorrow. So we should have that going. I'm really excited for everyone to get their rings and to get the fine pewter stuff. It's really pretty stuff, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. The rings especially are very intriguing to me. We showed Andrew showed what he did with them. We showed Andrew samples of those, but we want to see what you do with them because it's kind of a new thing. And we know that a lot of you work with fibers or work with, not just beads, you work with other things. And we want to see how you use those acrylic rings and the wooden rings. We did wooden rings too. There was the walnut that was wooden. And so those are on their way or will be on their way starting tomorrow. Michelle says, want crystals. Crystals we have in the online store. We have some. We have fossils and crystals, not a lot, not our entire collection, but we do have some. And as we expand this space back here, we have this space that's going to expand. The online store is now gone from there. It's big and open back there now, except there's stuff all over the floor because we had to move stuff off of shelving units, and it's a lot. So I got to get this cleaned up back there. And then we'll take this wall down or push that wall back. But there's still a lot. There's a lot to go through yet. There's a lot of things happening. And yeah, I'm a little worn out today. I'm also sleepy because I'm on so many antihistamines. If you missed the first part of this video, you might notice my lip is swollen. Like this side of my lip is swollen. And that's all because of my thyroid and my allergies that I sometimes sometimes I just wake up with hives or go to sleep with hives and a swollen lip sometimes. This happens less often. I usually wake up with hives almost every day. They're starting to calm down a little bit. I don't know if it's stress and thyroid related, but my doctor and my allergist said that it's probably my thyroid because we did the skin tests and nothing but ragweed. And I've had that all my life. So yeah, so that is, I'm on antihistamines to try and calm that down. And I'm a little bit sleepy because of it. I have some Benadryl in me. I have some Allegra in me. So, and some other things. So natural antihistamines too. Kay's asking, do you have your thyroid? I've been on thyroid medication since I was, I think, 14. For Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So yes, I do take medicine every single day. We're going to be checking my levels here and again in a few months to see if anything is going wonky there. But yeah, they say the allergist specifically said that People, especially people with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, sometimes develop hives, thyroid hives, and sometimes it lasts all their life. Sometimes they go away as mysteriously as they came. And some people just, they have them all their life and they're on antihistamines all their life. I take 2 to 3 different allergy pills every single day. I usually don't mix it with Benadryl. I usually only take Benadryl if I absolutely need to at night, because that one knocks me out. It never used to, and then I'm getting old, and now I'm just like, take a Benadryl or two, and I'm ready to pass out. But yeah, so that's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. Miles says, if the thyroid issue keeps you thin, that's all the better. Unfortunately, they don't keep me thin. It used to when my metabolism was faster. That helped too. But yeah, no, I'm pretty much my dosage for my medicine is back to normal. So I don't stay extremely thin, which is kind of good. I was very thin. I was a little too thin for a large part of my life. But cases Allegra doesn't even work for me. Allegra does nothing for my hay fever allergies, not a thing. It does seem to keep the hives in check, and that was something I usually take loratadine, which is Claritin. And when I was telling my allergist that, he said that loratadine or Claritin works for a very small percentage of people to ward off the hives. And obviously I had been on it, and I take one of those almost every day for my hay fever allergy, and it was not helping with the hives. He said mostly people with thyroid hives the majority of people do much better with Allegra. So that's why I take a loratadine, I take a Claritin in the morning, I take an Allegra in the morning or in the evening to try and keep the hives away. And then if it gets really bad in the evening before I go to bed, or sometimes if I just start to feel like maybe it's going to happen, I take 2 Benadryl at night before I go to sleep. So that's why, a lot of times, sometimes I probably look tired, and it's usually because I'm on 3 or 4 antihistamines. Or didn't get enough sleep. That's always a thing too. Let's see here. Michelle says, you're on multiple antihistamines. My thyroid goes up and down. Yeah, mine has been, my thyroid and my tests always usually come back pretty steady. I'm usually in a good zone. But we're going to get retested again and check this out and make sure I'm okay. But yeah, just get hives. Who knows? Kay says, I dug in the dirt today to plant some iris I scored for dirt cheap from a neighbor. That's awesome. It's always good to play in the dirt a little bit, right? Kay says, loratadine works for me, but I notice if I take it daily, it will stop working, so I have to give it a break. Yeah, I think a lot of those things are like that. You either have to take more or you have to take a break. And so I try to take a break from my allergy medicines. If I know if it's a rainy day and there's probably not a lot of pollen out floating around because the rain's keeping it down, I will usually skip on some of the antihistamines just to give my body a break and kind of let that reset a little bit. But it's the same for me. So I try not to take them every day, but it's pretty much I take something every day. But I alternate too, which probably helps or doesn't help. I don't know. But yeah, the things that happen to you as you get older, right? Who knew you get hives with thyroid just because you have thyroid? So that's what's going on with me today. That's what's going on here in the store and at Star Cottage Studio. Andrew is in Pittsburgh. He's doing his artist in residence, and he has a class that he's taking tonight. So yeah, he's out doing that. And I think that catches everybody up. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that if you didn't check your email, please check your email if you're on our email list, because we sent out a 15% discount code that you can use all weekend long. And that, when we have a sale, because we don't do like clearance sales or like 80% off sales, right? When we have a sale, we don't mind continually adding to the online store, so you get discounts even on the newest things offered. Because we just try to give you the best price all the time. We don't have to live off of sales. So when we do a sale, it doesn't matter if you get the newest things on sale or not. And so we will be continually adding over the next, I'm looking down because I have a lot of stuff in this box on the floor. We have a lot of those new things. We're going to add the crystals. We're going to add the polymer clay beads. We'll see how much more we get done after that. But yeah, so use that discount code in the email and save yourself some 15% off. Help us out. You know, it's coming up to a new month. We got bills to pay. So anything that you purchase in the online store would definitely help us. And hopefully you'll be getting a good deal with it too. Let's see, what else is Kay? I have hostas and a few more irises to plant out. It's cold, but these plants will be okay. The veggie starters in my kitchen, or are in my kitchen, and we'll go under grow lights for a couple more weeks. Yeah, that's nice. See, you're really on top of things. You're really on top of things. It got cold here last night. I thought we were going to have to cover the blueberry bush, but we didn't. I don't know why. I just kind of lost track of things and kind of fell asleep. So we didn't cover that, but it's still fine. Everything's fine. Nothing got frosted out, I don't think. I think it's supposed to get cold again tonight. I think it was down in the 20s last night. So I'm really surprised, but everything seems to be fine. And generally, from what I understand, plants are fine as long as they don't get a frost on them and the sun then comes out and scorches them. That's usually what I understand is a lot of the problem with frosting is that they will frost over things or get really, really cold, and then the sun comes out and beams on them and then it burns them. So our blueberry seems to be fine. I checked it out before I left today, and they seem to be all fine. So see, okay, you're on top of stuff. We're forgetting about stuff, and luckily it's okay. Susan says, I wasn't certain my hostas were coming back, but I checked and sure enough, they're coming up. We have hostas coming up too. We have a good number of those. Suzanne says, so excited about the sale. Thanks. My cats will get me something, right? Make those babies get you something. Make those babies, those fur babies, the feather babies, the human babies, whoever they are. Make sure you get something for Mother's Day. Yeah, let's see. What else is going on with everyone? Hello, Harry. Thanks for tuning in. Suzanne, we're close to 90 degrees. Yikes. That's crazy. That's crazy. We are at 54 today. 54 is the high, and that's where we are right now. So we're at the warmest it's going to be. It's chilly. That's why I'm wearing multiple long sleeve and kind of winter looking things because it's cold around here right now. Let's see here. That's exactly how my plant gets frostbitten. My roses and hydrangeas have new leaves and shoots, and garden is going to be gorgeous this year. Nice. Yeah, Andrew, I don't know if you've seen pictures that I've been posting on my personal account and my Instagram, my personal Facebook, but Andrew spent lots of time last year planting bulbs. And I didn't know what all he planted, but he planted a lot of daffodils and a lot of tulips and some other things. And they're all coming up beautifully. Our backyard and our flower beds look pretty amazing. The front yard, the one that we're always the most concerned about because it's the one where people drive by and actually see it. The front yard looks the worst out of all of them. And I don't know why. Things just aren't coming up the way that they are around the other places. But the backyard and the side of the garage, we have flower beds on the one side of the garage. Well, two sides of the garage. They look amazing. And they look really good. He did a great job getting those planted. But our front yard is just, doing its own thing, whatever it wants to do. So I know Susan's here. Sorry for how our front yard looks sometimes, but I don't know why. We're just always in the backyard. So we just take care of a lot of things in the backyard and make it look nice for us. And then the front yard looks like what kind of people live in this house? But that's the way it is sometimes, right? Let's see here. What else is going on? Donna says, my daffodils have already bloomed and gone. Wow. We still have daffodils. We have a lot of daffodils and our tulips are all coming up. We have a lot of tulips. The crocuses are mostly up. And the hellebores, of course, have all bloomed and are starting to throw up new leaves, and they'll probably be done blooming soon. And then we have, what else do we have? I don't know. We have some weird things coming up that we don't even know what they are. Andrew planted them. I don't know where they came from, but they're coming up too. And so we have lots of things, and it's looking really good, looking different, looking pretty good. Let's see here. What else is going on? That's about it. I hate to make this too short, but mostly wanted to catch you up on a few things in case you missed yesterday. I did a lot of catching up in the video yesterday. So if you missed that, I hope you'll take a look at the replay. And we talked about a lot of things, kind of you know, how we got started and what we're doing and what's going on here at Allegory Gallery. And so if you did miss that, you can check it out. And that's about it. That's about it. Susan says, well, don't look at mine. Mine looks pitiful. Yours looks great. I don't know about that. I don't know about great. I don't know those words, but we try and keep it looking okay, right? We don't have a lot of time. So we like flowers that kind of do their own thing. And, you know, a lot of people take their bulbs out in the winter and store them over winter. And we don't do that. The bulbs stay in the ground. If they grow, they grow. If they don't grow, they don't grow. Sometimes we do cut them so that it puts more, you know, energy back down into the bulb so that they can spread and we get more and more of them. But that's that. That's all we do. We'd like to do more gardening, but just don't have time. Just don't have time. Let's see here. Kay says the vegetables, herbs, and annuals won't be planted until mid-May. Yeah, you got to make sure everything's done frosting and everything's done being bad, right? So, yeah, I think that's all I've got for today. How are you all doing? I've been here droning on. How are you all doing out there? Is it good? Are you okay? I hope you're doing okay. Let's see here. Donna says, no, I never dig mine up, but tulips here are considered an annual bulb. Yours are gorgeous. Yeah, usually our tulips, we've had some tulips from the previous owners of our house, and they had some tulips. So we had those come up, and then we just added more. And Andrew kind of just sprinkled them in here and there a little bit. Yeah, they look good, I think. Miles says, Johnny Depp's trial's off the hook. I have not been staying up with that. I should probably pay more attention to that, but I have not, you know, I've not been doing anything current events really lately. So yeah, but I've heard a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are, have their opinions on it. Terry says the trial is off the hook. They couldn't script this. See, I'm missing something. I'm missing all that true reality TV, right? But yeah, it seems like it's getting wild from some of the comments I've been watching. Donna says, I'm great, trying to play catch up for my 2-day event this past weekend. How did the event go? How was your event? Kay says, I'm doing great. I did find 2 mysterious plants that the squirrels must have brought from somewhere. Yes, those squirrels. Andrew has this, the squirrels are like his little backyard enemy or something because they constantly bring in peanuts. We have neighbors that must feed the squirrels peanuts. And so we get peanuts in our yard and in our flower beds in exchange for other flowers. They literally rip out other bulbs and other flowers and they plant their peanuts. Now, you know, I'm not opposed to growing peanuts, but I don't think they do so well. And I don't think we're going to get any large bumper crop of peanuts at any point in time. So yeah, when they take out your regular flowers and they try and plant their peanuts for hiding, not so great, not so great. But the squirrels, they do spread things. They do spread things everywhere. Diane's here feeding the dogs. Random tulip this year, and I don't know where it came from, right? Well, I think the tulips, you're supposed to, if you want them to continue growing or to grow bigger bulbs, you cut the flowers when they flower. I was watching this this Instagram reel, and it was these tulip fields in Holland, and just beautiful colors. Like the whole field is just full of like these lines of colors from these probably millions or billions of tulip plants. And all they were doing were running a tractor over them and chopping off all the flowers. And it's like, oh, it feels like such a waste, right? But that puts the energy back into growing the bulb. So if you do have tulips and you want more of them, I guess you're supposed to cut the flowers off when they're flowering, and let that energy then go back down into the bulb, and it should grow either more bulbs or a larger bulb, and help spread. That's how a lot of those bulb things do that. If you cut the flowers off, it puts the energy, instead of putting the energy into the flower, it puts the energy into the bulb. So maybe if you do that, cut them right now, and maybe you'll get more next year. Ours have spread a little bit anyway, and I'm hoping that the ones Andrew planned to keep spreading like that. Michelle's making a necklace with blue and green shell or stones. Nice, nice. Kay saying the testimony is eye-opening, the Johnny Depp trial. I've heard some things, I've read some things people are sharing. A little bit wild, a lot wild actually. Susan said, I had to go to Johnstown last week. That's one of our neighboring towns. And you drive past Star Cottage Studio from here to get there. If you go one of the ways. It says, looks very nice with the flowers. Yeah, Andrew has a lot of, I told you I'm sleepy from I'm even yawning, geez, from the antihistamines. But Andrew has a ton of daffodils he planted around Star Cottage Studio. There's some blank spots and some places we missed because we started just at the end throwing them in quickly because it was getting to be frozen. The ground was starting to freeze. But they're coming up, but it's mostly all daffodils over there. The tulips are at the house. Donna says, the weekend was outstanding. I did really well. That's awesome. That's awesome. We always like when people do well. That's always good. Harry finished the clay work on a new doll today and made 2 necklaces. Busy. Harry's always busy. Harry puts me to shame, I feel like, every time I see what he's done in a day and what I've done in a day. Terry says, I love squirrels. They are incredibly entertaining, but ridiculously naughty. True. I love squirrels too. Just don't necessarily want them exchanging our flowers for peanuts all the time. Oh, let's see here. Try squirrels hiding walnuts. I'm sure, whatever nuts are around. We don't have peanuts around, but some of our neighbors I know, give them peanuts. Diane says, that's funny though, like the squirrels are trying to garden in your garden beds, right? They're trying to plant their peanuts. I think they're just trying to save them in dirt that's already dug up so they don't have to dig so hard. But yeah, we'll see like bulbs strewn through the yard, and we're like, what is going on? And then you start looking where there were some new holes, look like they were dug, and there are peanuts there. Peanuts. Oh yeah, Susan had squirrels in the attic. They were humanely evicted. Those critters were so loud it sounded like they were having a party. Drove us and the cats nuts. I bet. I've heard they can be very loud if they are in your house. And it's weird, speaking of that, two different friends of mine on Facebook have posted that they suddenly, like in the same day, got squirrels in their house. That was weird. They took pictures of the squirrels in their house. Just a weird thing to have happened on the same day to 2 people I know. So it was crazy. Diane says, I can cut the flower and bring it inside. Yep, cut it, bring it inside, and hopefully that will, you might want to look it up, make sure it works for tulips, because I'm not 100%, well, I know that's why they do it in Holland, but I don't know if you're just supposed to cut just the very top or if you're supposed to cut the whole stem. But if you check that out, I do know that a lot of bulbs, if you cut the flowers when they flower, you will put more energy into the bulb production down below. Let's see here. Teresa says, yes, cutting them will make them spread. I make beautiful bouquets. Yeah, good. That's what I should be out there chopping our tulips down, but I like them so much. I like them. They add so much color. And I like that color right now, especially on gray days. Today's a pretty sunny day. It's sunny and windy and chilly, but it's not gray out at least. Let's see, Miles says, Amber is very crazy from the trial. Terry says she is, though I suspect he's a little off kilter as well, as much as I love him. Yeah, I can't say much because I have not watched it. You know, and I try to reserve any opinions until I actually see what's going on. But from what I'm reading, it's not looking favorable for her at all. Michelle says he always has been, but she is just nuts. See, things you never know. I don't know what I'm missing, I guess. Donna says Harry makes the coolest things. Yes, Harry does. Harry makes awesome, awesome things. If you've not seen his Etsy site, go over there. Check it out. Suzanne says, I'm trying to find beads to go with a fossilized trilobite. That's interesting. Is it a black and white fossil? What kind of fossil is it? I'm trying to think if you've gotten any eagle eye. The eagle eye might work nice, but it might be too similar then. I don't know. Susan's been working on several projects, bracelets, earrings, and a necklace. If I get good light, I'll post this weekend. Nice. Took the opportunity to listen to the first Interpol and Black Rebel Motorcycle Club albums while working. That's cool. I know you like interesting music. I like to see what you're listening to. Let's see here. Susan says, my mom always folded the daffodil leaves and wrapped a rubber band around them. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of doing that. Suzanne, oh, it's more mustard color. That's harder, right? That's definitely a harder mustard. That's a hard color to work with sometimes. I don't know if I have anything like that. I'll have to look for you. I'm sure you have something in your stash, right? Maybe not. I'll have to look. Mustard color. Nothing's even popping in my mind right now. But yeah, so it seems like you're all doing pretty well out there, getting into the spring mode, right? Making things, doing some gardening, taking in some fresh air, I hope. So yeah, this was just a nice little time to sit down and chat for a little bit while I recover from my hives, swollen lip, and the antihistamines that I'm on. So we'll have something for you tomorrow again, and hopefully I can tell you many more things have been shipped out tomorrow, and also we have new things in the online store. Hopefully we should have them tomorrow for you, and you can use that discount code that you should have gotten in your email. Check your spam if you're on our email list and you didn't get it. It did successfully send to everyone in our list from what I've seen. So you should have gotten it if you're on our email list. If you're not on our email list, go to our website, and that's right here. There it is, allegorygallery.com. Scroll to the very bottom of any page, and in the footer on the right-hand side, I believe, you can put your email in. If you're on a phone, it might be just right at the bottom. It probably condenses down. But you can put your email in there and sign up for our email list. We don't ask your name and all that stuff. I really want to make that form a little bit more robust. I want to try and get birthdays in there so we can do birthday surprises and things like that. But right now, it's just your email. That's all you need, and you can sign up. I will probably resend the email maybe to people who did not open the email. So if you did miss it, you might get another one. If you don't open your email, our system will send to people who didn't open it, just to try and say, hey, are you sure you don't want to open this? And I'll probably do that on Saturday. I don't like to do it right 2 days in a row. But I also sent an email yesterday about our fine pewter line. So if you didn't see that, there's some information in that about the about our fine pewter line and what we plan to do with it. But I talked a lot about that in the video yesterday too, I think, if I remember right. I was very hyper yesterday. I had a lot of energy, making up for today when I have like almost no energy, right? Let's see here. Teresa says you need to have the leaves die before you cut them on daffodils. It puts the energy back into the plant. That's nice. So that's why she probably rubber banded them so that it could suck the energy out of the leaves and leave them there. before you cut them off. Donna says, oh, I opened mine. Thank you for this. Well, thank you. I hope it helps. I hope you find something to purchase in the online store. And like I said, that is 15% off, and you can save that through the end of the weekend. 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Sunday night. Let's see here. Marianne says, I opened mine. Good, good, good. Susan says, yes, that is why my mom did it. Nice. June is just tuning in. I think, June, we're just about ready to end. So this is just a chatting session if you want to catch up. But I do want people to know we sent out an email today if you're on our email list to save money in the online store this weekend. We don't do a lot of sales, but I figured I'd do, I always tell the online list, the email list people that, you want to sign up because you might get something special that not everyone's going to get. And sometimes that's a sale. And so this weekend it's a sale. And you can save your money, save 15% off everything in the online store. You want that $400 sapphire strand that's in there, you can save 15% off of that. It's a nice savings on a strand like that. And remember, in addition to that savings, you can also oftentimes cut your payment in multiple payments using the ShopPay platform in the online store. That's tied in there too. So if you want to, you don't have to. Just sometimes helps with larger purchases. And sometimes I know that when people take advantage of the sale, sometimes they make a larger purchase and it's a little bit harder. So you can use the ShopPay to cut it into multiple payments and in various ways, depending on what you're approved for or what you choose. Oh, let's see here. June got the email. Thank you. Thank you for looking. So I guess that's it for today. I don't have much more to say. I've been trying to rack my brain here in between comments to see if there's anything else I need to let you aware of, but I think that's it. I think that's it. So I hope you have a wonderful Thursday or whatever day it is in your neck of the woods. I know some people are on a different day already. And we will see you here tomorrow, which is Friday for us. And I'm sure Friday for many of you. And so if you have any questions, put them in the comments. We'll try and answer, or just send us an email. If you're wondering about an order or anything like that, we are catching up. So just know that. And you should start to see, some people have already seen shipping notifications starting to come out this week. And we're catching up as quickly as we can. So thank you all so much for tuning in. And use that coupon code. Save money this weekend. Help us to, get ready for a new month of bills and, things that we have to buy and pay for. It all helps. It all helps. So we want to keep putting out great new things. And, unfortunately, money is what it takes to do a lot of this stuff. So the more you support us, always the more we can do with all of you out there in the community. All right. So thank you all so very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, wherever it is in your neck of the woods. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye, everybody.